Hands up to the master, guys. We are finally back again for the very first out of 2 reaction videos, guys. We're gonna be dropping here today on this Mystelics YouTube channel, guys. Big up to the reaction channel, guys. Big up all the Mystelics YouTube family. We're definitely tuned into another reaction video, and of course the newcomers out there to warm this up for you guys. Hand clap to the newcomers out there for definitely tuning into this here reaction video, guys. If you have not done so, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through right there. And then, guys, give this video a thumbs up. Click the thumbs up button. The hell, brother. Beat it up. YouTube, that way you YouTube. Anyways, click the thumbs up button, man. Beat the thumbs up button, guys. Click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that right there. And of course, the newcomers out there, if you have not done so, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification. Click the subscribe button, the red button mark subscribe. Click it, then click all, and then click click the bell and then click all, and you get notified when I drop all my videos right there and then. Now, guys, a number of persons actually sent me this video right there of a lawyer in Dominica, Mr. Henry Shillingford, and we're gonna react to it right there. Hopefully there's no cuss word in your mouth of this and your mouth of that. Hopefully there's none of that stuff. I think he was addressing this to Sir Dennis Byron. We're gonna listen to what he has to say right there.
Yes, my name is Henry Shillingford, and I am a candidate for the BrBpTV constituency in the Dominica general election of December 6th.
Well, I don't think he won it. Hold on, before you continue, guys, let's see the results right there. He got 11 votes, man. That's 0.94%. Vince got 97.6%. We gotta be reacting to this kind of stuff, guys. Like I told you guys previously, we're gonna be reacting to them videos, not videos, but the result of the election in the next reaction video. I'm gonna jump in. You can look for that in the first comment in the comment box below, guys, when that video drops. So definitely check that out right there. He didn't do well at all. I think he lost it. Not I think, I know he lost his deposit. For you to get back your deposit during the election, you have to get back like about 12.5% of the votes. Right there, he got back 0. That's less than 1%. So unfortunately, the BrBpTV people thought somebody outside would be better for them. But anyways, let's continue right there, guys.
As you know, I only became a candidate because of the constitutional crisis that was created by the current Prime Minister.
I told you guys not to join the stuff. You guys just further legitimize the elections. That is what I've been telling you guys. According to Irving Pascal, or you should have listened to Irving Pascal when he dropped out of the race, urging other independent candidates to drop out. However, I think on the basis, well, let's continue, guys. Let's continue. I'll talk about that maybe in this one later on, or I'll talk about it in the next reaction video of the day.
Calling elections under the particular circumstances that he did.
So you just wanted to be a part of it.
Now, I really went as a citizen to defend democracy. However, I speak to you now as an attorney at law. I've been called to the bar for 30 years now, in fact in 1993. I have practiced in Dominica since that time. I've mostly, and most of my credible work has been in fact in environmental law and international law, where I spent my time due to the importance I gave to Dominica's environmental credibility. And so the rule of law is very important to me, and it is the reason that I became a lawyer, even with all my criticisms of the current society.
That is something else.
And the current setup by the European colonial remnants that we now call countries.
And we still have that. We still have the colonial vibes on us. I mean, we are free. Why are we still using the same thing? Is it easier for us to continue using what the Europeans gave us? Or shouldn't we just go back to our root cause or roots? And of course, just like we call Dominica Dominica, is not because Dominica is named Dominica, you know, it's because some other white person came and just decided to, hey, I want to call this place Dominica, and that's why you call it Dominica. But the actual name for Dominica is actually Whitey Kubuli. Why don't we call it Whitey Kubuli? Why are we sticking to what the Europeans gave us? That's one of the things I don't understand. We can never be truly free if we continuously do or utilize what the Europeans have given us.
However, be that as it may, the rule of law was still an important element. In the 30 years, I have seen that rule of law crumble, and nothing makes it more apparent than what has currently happened. The situation, the constitutional crisis I refer to, is strictly man-made. It is not a political or a national cause. It is caused by one man, and his name is Sir Dennis Byron. He should be my lord, the perfect person I am to ascend to, because he is the jurist, the lawyer in the Caribbean that has received the highest accolades.
Who has given him this? The Queen? Why? If you guys know, I don't know. If you guys know, let me know that in the comment box below. Why are they calling him Sir Dennis Byron? Who gave him that title? Was it the Queen? Normally when the Queen, you know, puts the little sab on you and stuff and not your shoulder, and then they call you Sir and stuff. But why? Was it the Queen who did this? What exactly happened? Why he's called Sir Dennis Byron?
He has been Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court. He has also been President, which is Chief Justice of the Caribbean Court of Justice, as well as having a seat on the International Criminal Court. In other words, he's the most celebrated Caribbean jurist there is.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why.
Now, this man in his retirement takes a job to consultancy with a government in the Eastern Caribbean in respect of reviewing electoral laws. The only reason a man of that caliber could take a job, because he cannot need the money, he's collecting 3 pensions, is to advance the idea of governance and jurisprudence in the islands, in the Caribbean. Now, especially so, I would think, because he's been a judge all his life. He's never made law. He's just adjudicated in laws made by others. It is his one opportunity to make law, but more importantly, to make law having to do with governance and the formation of government itself. Now, I would have thought that that's something any jurist, and certainly him, should have held in deep, high regard. Especially in the fact that, you know, he disobeyed the basic legal rules of being hired by the Prime Minister instead of the Electoral Commission, which is a deep divide and may expose what I'm about to say.
What he says makes sense. Just like how Senate kits operate, where the Prime Minister or the people in charge do not get involved with other sectors, they handle their business. Other sectors like the disaster management sector, the commercial sector, tourism sector, the Prime Minister does not have any influence in this. These people handle their thing on what is the term I'm looking for? They are encouraged to do their own thing. Then there's a term I'm looking for. It slipped my mind, man. It just ran out of my ears, bro. That's crazy. They're empowered. Brothers say, it fly back. It whoop. They are empowered to do that which they seem best within their crew or within their ministries to do. So that's a good thing that he pointed out right there. Why is the Prime Minister the one paying him, not the Electoral Commission? The Electoral Commission is supposed to be totally not with the Prime Minister, but the Prime Minister was the one who got the individual to do this stuff. And then, so I understand the sentiment right there. If the Prime Minister is one paying him, the Prime Minister can then, you know, tell him, okay, don't do it at this time, you know, further do along the line because I'm the one paying you. If the Electoral Commission was the one totally at this instead of the Prime Minister, then they should be the one who then says, okay, we get this thing, this is by that time. The Prime Minister can't come and say, okay, let me hold election then. No, they need to organize it. Say, no, sir, we are not done yet. The Commission will then say that, and then they will go through with what they have to do as a result of the monies that they paid this individual to do. But they did not pay the individual. The Prime Minister was the one who paid him. So what he's saying there makes a lot of sense.
Hired by the Prime Minister instead of the Electoral Commission, which is a deep divide and may expose what I'm about to say.
Then again, it still comes down to the individuals, because I remember when the president was saying he doesn't listen to because the electoral commissioners, some of the individuals went to them, to the president and said, hey, we are not ready yet for elections, blah blah blah. And then the president said he doesn't listen to him, he listens to the chief person who then advises. But then again, the chief person is probably bought by the very Prime Minister himself, because I think they are his lawyers. Oh boy.
And so, having taken this, and insidiously reviewing the law, clearly with an intention to make governance, electoral process, and other ways of forming the democracy and the government that we have. He lets the Prime Minister know that he'll be delivering his draft in a month or so. Less than a week after he does so, the Prime Minister calls election under the old electoral regime.
Yep, which should not be, because the people's money was spent already on that.
Now, I cannot understand why Sir Dennis Byron, who, if you will, is a Goliath in stature next to the ant that is Skerrit, in terms of stature over time in the Caribbean. How can one who is the embodiment of law, of the rule of law, as a justice,
should know the laws in the Caribbean, yeah, be
so disingenuously and in fact recklessly disregarded? How can he allow, it's not him, it is the rule of law being stepped on. And
so he should know this process. Or was the process followed correctly? That is a big question right there, you know. He should have known the process. He's pretty much the embodiment of law in the Caribbean. I mean, Sir Dennis Byron, your lordshipness, your auntship, whatever that is, you should know these things. But maybe the money spoke to him. I mean, he got about $650,000 there for him to do that, I mean.
And that's why you, Sir Dennis, and I call you out, you know who I am. I am Henry Shillingford. It is an appalling and embarrassment, your action, in not speaking out, in not coming to Dominica, and in fact holding briefings with anti-electoral opposition by video, by Zoom. This is exact.
I thought he came to Dominica though. Or what they call them, the Electoral Reform Coalition, did they have a meeting with him via Zoom? Because if he's doing this and it's on the basis of not having elections until the electoral reform is done and elections is happening, I think he should have come out and stated something. He did say a few words, but this is just written stuff that I was able to read. When I mentioned my previous thing, he responded, but there was no real talks going on. Maybe the process still was happening, because I heard that some draft had to be sent up by the 30th of November. I'm not sure what is happening. The Dominican people have no clue what is going on in this regard. But I think he should have come out and said something. Don't you guys agree? He should have come out and say something like, hey, well, wait a while. Because I know on the written thing that he stated, he said he was not necessarily taken aback, but he was unaware as to an election coming. He was unaware of these things. Everybody was unaware of the election coming until when Lennox them received the letter from Dennis Byron of him saying, okay, by November they're gonna be doing the draft, and then by January the first phase will be done, going into Parliament for them to think. But that's gonna be pushed back, because the Parliament is not gonna have, the first Parliament is gonna be happening in January, sometime in January. So that might be pushed back to February or whenever. So I don't think the first order of business will be electoral reform. I could be wrong here. We'll see what happens. But that's interesting too.
Exactly the problem. And so it is you who has caused this constitutional crisis, because as His Majesty says, evil is not done by evildoers, but by good men who could have acted and failed to do so.
I like that.
Evil is not done by evildoers, but by good men who could have acted and failed to do so. Sir, you have failed the people because they got electoral reform. You were it. You were about to deliver it, and the man pulled the rug underneath your foot and made you spill and bust your backside.
That's interesting. But yeah, I agree. So why didn't he say anything?
Sir, you have failed the people because they got electoral reform.
Yep.
You were it.
But it just wasn't fulfilled.
You were about to deliver it, and the man pulled the rug underneath your foot and made you spill and bust your backside.
But what could he have done though? What could he have done? If they're saying that the laws give the provision for the prime minister to do these things, even if it's just like, let's say you call election happen today, and you decide as prime minister, you know what, I'm to stay there longer, let me call elections next year. It seems like the law gives the prime minister the provision to do these things. Is it fair? Is it right? No. But the laws are there. This is one of the things that the OAS was saying the last time. The laws were there, even though the laws are not conducive for the modern times that we are living in, but they are still there because they allow them to still be there. So that's what they seem to be using.
And you didn't say a word. You, sir, are what we call in the street a punk. And I tell you that, Sir Byron, you know me. And I tell you this again, it's appalling what you've done to Dominica and made live in your
Okay. Guys, what are your thoughts on this, man? What are your thoughts on this? I think Dennis Byron should have come out and say something. I think he should probably advise and say, no, you should not have elections or something like that. Maybe he can give advice. I mean, he's the embodiment of law. Shouldn't then the people, if he cannot stop it from happening, then shouldn't he bring in the people who are watching over Dominica, so to speak? We have the CCG and a number of others who give their opinions on the elections, but there was something that was actually supposed to happen. Electoral reform is something that needs to be happening, yet still election did happen. It happened when yesterday. And 19 out of 19 seats were won. Roseau North went to DLP, which is very sad, I think. Let me see this thing. I think I have it somewhere there, you know. Where are you at, buddy? Oh, there it is. Yep. So these two went to the independent and the rest went to thing. So I think something should have been done. I mean, what could have been done, I have no clue. But I think something should have been done, guys. What are your thoughts on this, man? What are your thoughts on this? But I really was sad to see this thing, I'm not gonna lie. 97.6% voted in Granby for somebody who's not their own. Somebody who's not done anything in his constituency. Somebody who's not done anything or barely little as an ambassador. And somebody came Granby after by-elections. What has he done in Granby? We don't know. Yet they still go back and vote for him. Well, maybe they get a cool out. Push your hand in your pockets, Gary, and pull the cool out. Well, man from Granby got 11 votes. I even think I'm thing got thing. I think I have hold on, let me find it, guys. Because I have the one of what is his name again? Handbag. This is it right there, guys. So handbag, whew, I see best handbag I'd go back here. Because handbag got 161 votes. The other partner on top get 3 votes. So handbag didn't get back his deposit. Because that is 12.45. He didn't get back his deposit though. And then the by-election, Vince got 88%, 88.24. Handbag got 12.45. He was missing 5% to get back his deposit. This guy is not in it at all. So guys, let me know your thoughts, man, what Henry Shillingford spoke about there. Do you think, whose fault do you think it is? Do you think it's Skerritt's fault? Do you think it's Dominica's fault? Do you think it's Dennis Byron's fault? Whose fault do you think caused what happened in Dominica to be what happened in Dominica? Do you think it, well, I personally think it's Skerritt's fault, because Dennis probably did what he could, and you know, as a result of Skerritt does completely ignoring, because he did that to OAS, you know, before. There was another one where OAS gave their drafts or whatever, and Skerritt rejected that. He rejected that. Now in election time, he's coming and saying it's the opposition that didn't want it. Okay, how crazy it is. I don't know if it's going on there, but hey. But apparently Dennis Byron came in, did his thing, and then boom, he called elections. Who really doesn't want electoral reform? Who really doesn't want it? You call a man to do electoral reform for you, he comes to do it at the moment of when he's supposed to be starting. You call elections. 3 years remaining to go, 2025. By the way, I must point out to something. Some individuals don't seem to understand. I myself didn't understand it at the very beginning, but apparently, from what I was told from an electoral officer, they told me that even though elections is 2022 now, the first sitting in Parliament is when things begin. So the first sitting in Parliament happens in January or sometime next in 2023. So 2023 is the beginning of the 5 years. The 2023 for what to when? 2028 is when elections is constitutionally due again. They can call it earlier on apparently. But we'll see how that goes, guys. We'll see how that goes. What are your thoughts, man, on the whole situation right there? I just had to let you guys know that because some people tend to be confused. They think it's 2024 it was supposed to happen. No, it's 2025. Based on the first sitting of Parliament right there. Anyways, guys, if all that said, don't forget to check out the first comment in the comment box below for that reaction, for the second reaction when it drops. Give this video a thumbs up if you have not done so. Subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through. I'll be doing the next one with all this kind of stuff and way in the back and forth of 2019 to 2022, all these kind of things. I'll be doing a whole gist on that, guys. Trust me, you wanna be in with your boy, and we'll see. I have a conclusion. You might want to hear that. But if you want to do that, definitely look out for the next reaction video a bit later on today. Anyways, guys, for all I said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom, bang.